Hello and welcome to our Visionary Leaders Team Call. My name is Aisha Harley and I am one of the founders of the Visionary Leaders. And welcome to April, to spring. Can you believe it? It's nice and blue outside and I'm so happy. Oh, let me hit advance. Oh, why am I not advancing? There we go. If you are new to our call, welcome. We want to make sure that you know that we have a plethora of resources for you. We have an incredible website that is full of education, business education, essential oil education, our community events. So if you have not checked out our website, please go to hellovisionary.life and take a little time and peruse the site, and you will be astonished at all the goodness that we have there. Oops, what's going on here? I'm going the wrong way. There we go. This is our community call, and this is what we have lined up for April. Today is, we're going to talk about all of the gifts from Doterra this month, and we're going to share our tips, our pearls, our wisdom, and this is going to be a collective call. So we would love for you all to come on camera and for you all to share and participate so we can learn from you. Next week, we're going to talk about the high impact oils, which we're really excited to talk more about that. On April 20th, we're going to have some self-care tips. Hold on, because I cannot fully see the screen. So this is also going to be a collective call that we would love for you to participate in. So please join us with your best self-care essential oil tips. And then on the 27th, we are going to be talking about the Aroma Touch technique with special guest Lindsay Bodo. There we go. Okay. We have so many offerings. We have such an abundance of offerings and more coming. We want to make sure that you know about everything so you can take advantage of all of the gifts that we have for you. So Nikki Dean and Lindsay Bodo lead a work party on Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. This is a time that you can come together and do your doTERRA work. So it's a time to work together, but you can also ask questions, get inspiration, etc., and be in the community. On Tuesdays at 5:30, we have an introduction to essential oil class every Tuesday. This is great to come to if you're new and you want to learn more about how to use essential oils, or if you want to share with friends or family, just invite them to the class and show up with them and you can learn together. And then again, we have our community call every Wednesdays. And make sure and tune into the doTERRA Empowered Success Trainings. They are the first Monday of every month. And this last one was fantastic. If you missed it, I highly recommend going back and watching it, especially if you are building a doTERRA business and you're feeling like you need some inspiration and a little boost in the arm to get going. This was definitely a call you want to check out. And then Ariana Harley leads our Oils A to Z call on the third Mondays of every month with Louise Rose and Mika and Will Wan. And again, you can find all of these events at hellovisionary.life/events. And then do opt in for our text reminders if you have not done so. That makes it super easy so you'll never forget. And then we recommend that you put everything on your calendar so you'll know when it's coming. So this is who we have lined up to teach our oil classes this month. We have Suzanne Nicholas teaching next week, and then we have Haley Jones and Mandy Garber, all excellent teachers. So do not miss those events. Okay, let's see, this is not, there we go. We also have just launched our spring wellness education series. So this is our ongoing education where you can have a deeper dive into all of the topics. I will be teaching this coming Saturday, the toxin-free living class. And I'm not going to, just for sake of time, you can take a screenshot of this. You are welcome to share this with your community, with your friends, with your family. You do need to opt in on Eventbrite to get the link. So totally take advantage of this and join us live. It's a super awesome series. And we also do record these and they can be found on our website. And if that time is not the best for you, because that one is Saturday morning at 8 a.m., we also have a series. It's the same series, but this has been offered by the Butterfly Collective team, and they are Wednesdays. This is really great if you are in Hawaii because it's at 2 p.m. Hawaii time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if this time slot works better for you and your community, take a screenshot of this, and the Zoom link is at the bottom of the screen, and you can also opt in. And I do want to give a special thanks to the Butterfly Collective team for offering this team-wide. Okay, raise your hand if you are excited to join us live in Salt Lake City this year for convention. We are going to do it. We're going to make this happen. We are going to have a fun team gathering. We are going to smother you all with love because we have missed you and we are excited to be there live. So tickets go on sale on May 18th. So put a little note in your calendar, and we do hope that you can join us live in Salt Lake City. It will be from September 14th to 18th, and it's going to be good. The topic is healing one another, healing our community, healing our planet, and we really want to see you there. Okay, I'm going to hand it over to Erin. She is going to talk about our Spoil Your Mom special, and then we're going to open it up to the community for the rest of the call.
Okay, thanks so much, Aisha. Just as a reminder to everyone how this first call of the month works, Josie is going to give her little bit. Josie has secret notes on a lot of these oils. I don't know that she'll have them for everything, or she has like secret tips. So she's going to share a little secret tip about the oils of the month, and then we're going to open it up to the community to share your tips, your pearls, your wisdoms. So we have Mother's Day coming up, and this is the Mother's Day special. You can either get the Gua Sha Beauty Collection, which is a Gua Sha stone. If you've never Gua Sha'd, it's incredible. You do it on your face, and it's like a facelift. Like you can give yourself a facelift every day. And if you do half your face and not the other half and look in the mirror, you'll be like, OMG, I can't believe that. So it comes with Yarrow Palm Body Serum and Yarrow Palm Renewal Serum. Or you could get the Malama blend as an oil or with a diffuser. Now, I just learned that Malama is actually good for your skin, and it's great to diffuse at night. So Josie, do you have anything to say about these specials? And then we'll open it up to the community. Oh, you're muted.
Okay, am I unmuted? Yes, now I am. I was just looking at the Yarrow Palm to look more specifically, you know, and what I just want to do some take homes about this for our skin is the Yarrow Palm is very high, second to copaiba in beta-carotene. This is one of our hugest antioxidants. It is incredible for the integrity of the skin and working with the keratin, our cells. It can reverse damage of those cells, and it can increase collagen protection. As well as it is known for its anti-cancerous properties, for being such a high antioxidant, and being you know, the kind of outbreaks that can happen from bugs on your lips, you know, that kind of thing, really great against that as well. So it helps with all of the immune system of our skin, as well as using it for damage, aging, collagen production. So it's such a perfect one to be using on our skin with Gua Sha.
Awesome. Yeah, such a good reminder. Okay, Aisha, you can stop the presentation and we'll bring other people on camera. I see Mika wants to come on camera. What do you all know or want to share about Yarrow Palm and or Malama? Go ahead, Mika. Is that working? Nope. Okay, try now, Mika.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
I don't know. It's just teaching a class. It should work. Okay. Oh yeah, Yarrow Palm. Just quickly, two things. Hi everybody. It's nice to see you. It's great for vein and arterial contractility. So anybody that needs more support with blood flow, oxygenation to small parts of their body, the fingers, the toes, or they're just concerned, I take it every day, vein and arterial contractility. But another thing that we learned from Dr. Hill's, one of the conventions, he just said it really quickly, is it's great for neurological conduction. So I give it to my dad every day in a whole neurological toddy. We call it a neurological toddy. But that's one of the components to help with neuronal conduction, nerve conduction, and brain function.
So Mika, when you say like in terms of doing gua sha on the face with it, and you're talking about little arterial and nerve conduction, I'm thinking, wait, can everyone get like, I have little spider veins here, right? Right? I'm being real that there's no makeup on there, right? Could people see I have little spider stuff, the little red stuff so that would be perfect, right? Working with the Yarrow Palm and the gua sha.
Exactly, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And your beautiful serum, because it has Yarrow Palm in it, would be great.
So would that also be helpful for varicose veins? This like spider veins and varicose veins?
Yeah.
And Mika, can you share with us what's in your neurotoddy, or is that very specific?
No, it's fine.
We should have a whole call on that.
Yeah, we should.
It's I know, because we have you guys. I want to say no, don't share that right now. It's a big deal. We really work with it and we use it with conditions, and we should have a whole call on it. And there's certain things, like I'm going to drop another big hint about an oil that's super powerful. But again, we need to have a whole call on that.
Who wants a call on the neurotoddy recipe? Put it in the comments, raise your hand, give us some hearts. And yeah, let's move on to Malama so we can keep sharing all this goodness. Does anybody have a scroll about Malama? Has anybody been working with it yet?
I haven't.
Okay, yeah, all I'm doing is I really like it in my diffuser when I sleep. And that's what a lot of other people are saying, is that it's super good for sleep. And I just learned today that I can use it on my face for skin. So I'm going to try that. And then of course, there's an oil in there. We need to research it. It's never been distilled before. And it's the now wood that grows with the sandalwood from the Big Island. So that oil is really special for the oil collectors. Some of us just want to have every oil, so make sure you get one. Ooh, adding it to your dryer balls, Marilyn. Ariana, using it as perfume.
Yeah, I felt very compelled to, like, when I first smelled it, I was like, I want this near me every day. Like, and so I was just taking my little stick and putting it on my wrist and just breathing it in every day, kind of like a perfume, but it was more not for perfume use, but for my own, like, centering. It just felt very grounding. And, you know, those wood oils really collect scattered chi is what we call it. So like for anxiousness or what have you, it just feels very centering. And I just want to say one quick thing about that's not very doctor-y sounding, but honestly, when I first tried Yarrow Palm, when they first came out, I remember I drove to convention that year, and I didn't know what I was doing with it, but I remember you saying, take it internally. And all of a sudden I got back from convention and I was not eating great. And I like lost 3 pounds. I was like, and then I remember Dr. Hill during convention said it's good for your metabolism when you're taking it internally. But I don't hardly ever hear anybody talking about that anymore.
So true. It's so true. And there's a skinny jeans recipe.
Right.
So adding some other elements to it. And I had the same thing happen. I started taking it and I dropped some it's just a little bit of extra weight. Like all of a sudden your jeans fit better.
Yeah, it's just the slightest thing.
Yeah, Josie. And I just want to say, Joseph had his hand up. I'm not sure if he wanted to come on, Joseph, but please do. Go ahead, Josie.
So part of that neurological toddy, I take it daily, and I know Mika takes it daily. It's an all around. It's for, you know, actual conditions, but it's also for aging well. And the profile with Yaropalm that helps, one of the things that we know about it that helping with the metabolism and helping you to lose weight is how it works with our cholesterol and our cholesterol profiles. So if anyone has cholesterol profiles that they want to be in better shape, right? You know, they're working with your doctor and you're working on those things. Having an internal daily dose with a 1 to 2 drops of Yaropalm in that dose is something you definitely want to consider.
Great. Okay, Joseph, you had your hand up.
No, I was just agreeing with something she said earlier.
Okay, great.
But I do use the Yaropalm. So my story is I had 2017 cirrhosis of the liver, and I had ascites. So what happened, in a long story short, was I did muscle wasting and the skin on my arms got real thin. And so I use the Yaropalm on my arms every night, and it's really improved the skin. I mean, I think it helps with collagen production a lot. And so I've been using it on my skin that way on my arms, and it works really, really well. I love it. And the Milama too, Diane. Oh, I love that stuff. I'm telling you. It puts me right to sleep.
That's awesome. So I think we need a call on Yaropalm.
I would agree. It has magical qualities, I think.
It's so good.
Yeah,
Okay,
just maybe make a note, and so that we can talk about when we talk about Yaropalm, is my hormonal blend that you can put externally. So I have that right by my bed, and I have this beautiful hormonal blend when I feel really bloated. And I just put it on my belly and on my breasts, and you really wake up deflated the next day.
Oh, we're going to need that. Okay. Maybe a whole call about our special blends. I'm making notes. This is going to be great content. Okay, Aisha, will you bring up the slides so we can talk about the next oil? So every month at Doterra, you get a free essential oil. Does everybody know about that and get it? The way you get it is you place a 125 PV order before the 15th of the month on your loyalty rewards order. This month, it's citronella. So who loves citronella? Have you gotten your citronella? Josie, would you tell us the more secret, what we don't know about citronella tips and tricks? And then we'll open it up to the community.
Yeah. Another call, like I have all of these of how do we, right? What is citronella known for? Mosquitoes, right? Unwanted bugs. Well, it's not just mosquitoes. And one of the things in the back that Dr. Hill kind of at one point spoke about, but kind of on the down low, was that although they are not presenting this oil as an internal dose oil, as Doterra does with many of their oils, they kind of put it out there as the best way they see the most amount of people should be and can be using it. It does not mean that every oil that does not have a supplement fact on it is dangerous to take internally. It just means that they're sort of saying for the most people, just go use this simply. So we do have some oils with, some knowledge and a little bit of more advanced understanding that are safe in protocol to use internally that are not represented with a supplement fact. So I just kind of want to say that as that's their kind of real policy. And this was a formula that he and Emily Wright spoke about kind of in a smaller group. And so please do not make a meme of this or put this out there in social media or a general public. This is much more protocol-y, but it is one of its claim to fame is to really with lemon eucalyptus together, citronella and lemon eucalyptus, for internal candida. So when we think about candida, it's the old term for kind of a yeast overgrowth, what naturopaths call dysbiosis in general, a disordered gut microbiome. We deal with this in our cleanses. We deal with this in so many ways in chronic health and our wellness process. It usually comes up for most of it. If you've heard like me talking, Aisha's story, Aaron's story, along the way of coming back into perfectly balanced health, they've had to go through a candida overgrowth in their gut. And so there's lots of different, like GX Assist works fantastic. You can approach this from many different angles, but one formula that was given out that was like touted as 100% effective was rose, citronella, and eucalyptus. And just those. And so I've come up with a protocol of those, and we can do that in another call about how much, how would you do that? But to know that this is an oil that you should want to have for working with any kind of candida situation.
That's great, Dr. Josie. Thank you. Aisha, you can bring everybody on. So has anyone on the call worked with citronella yet in either this way or maybe other ways? And what are you doing with it? And Ariana, I see your hand if you want to talk.
Yeah, I just think that citronella is really good too to diffuse for cleansing out spaces. So I use it like in my basement where there's musty smells. This is a funny story about my partner was making a hat and he put some wax on it that was scented and it was a really gross scent. And so I used Purify and citronella to get the smell out of the chemically smell out of the hat, and then the citronella diffused off. So just think of it also as it repels bugs, just repelling any stagnant energy in spaces and also on the body. So, just any points where like maybe you've been around and picked up energy that just feels sluggish and you need to kind of cleanse and renew, especially so good in spring. So you can use citronella for that purpose as well.
Thank you, Ariana. Great tips. It's so good to remember that the oils have this spiritual, emotional aspects as well. And if anyone really loves diving into that, you're going to want to attend Ariana's monthly A to Z call, which is it first Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific time?
It is. And if you want to bring me on camera, that'd be awesome. I for some reason, I'm not seeing the button, but it is the third Mondays.
Third Mondays at 10 a.m. Okay,
Yeah.
and you can come on camera now. Zoom was giving me trouble. Marilyn, and you can get the A to Z call information on hellovisionary.life under our events. Marilyn says she's added it to TerraShield and diffused it with TerraShield. So yes, if you're having spring or summer get-togethers outside on your porch and you have mosquitoes, then you're going to want to have some citronella, and you could bring the little bubble diffuser out on your patio. That would be a perfect way to use it. Or here's a little hack. If you want to diffuse somewhere, but you don't want to bring a diffuser, take a cotton ball and put a drop of citronella on the cotton ball, and then just place that, like hide it under your flower arrangement in the middle of your picnic tables, and it will keep the bugs away. Anything else to share about citronella?
I was reading the other day that that it's an antifungal, so it's really good for like your toenails and your fingernails and things like that, but a lot for your toenails. So that's like the third top use for it is antifungal for your toenails. So
Ooh, that's great.
there's a lot of stuff you can do with it.
It would be nice. I can imagine putting it in a foot bath with peppermint, citronella and peppermint and Epsom salts while you're sitting outside on a hot summer day.
Yep. Says it's great for that and athlete's foot. So if you do a lot of running or go to steam rooms or whatever, it's really good. So.
Yeah, I just want to so that's a great point, Joseph. And some people don't realize that like candida is a medical term-ish, and that's fungal overgrowth in the digestive system.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
So, right, if people are talking about candida and that kind of a thing going on, what they mean is that you have the overgrowth of imbalance of the gut flora, all those kind of terms, and it's mostly fungal. And so, as Dr. Mika has taught me, and some of my teachers in naturopathic school, almost usually always, if you have fungus in one place, you have it in another.
Mhm.
So if you have fungal toes, you want to work on a candida protocol for your gut. If you know you have fungal in your urogenital system, I don't know how to say this. Women have some fungal situations in their cuckoo. So, right, it travels. It's not just usually one place in the body.
And that is a reason to do the cleanse. I suffered from major candida overgrowth. I had rashes on my eyes, rashes all over my skin. And I did the doTERRA cleanse quarterly for multiple years and a candida diet. And even had a moment where I had to take some nystatin. It was that bad. So if you're suffering from candida, the doTERRA cleanse is gentle enough that you could do it quarterly. Ariana, I see your hand up. Is that left over from? Yeah, great.
I just pulled up the book and there's a few ways I have not used citronella, but it's really great ideas. So it's really great for greasy hair, lice, and a detangler. So you could add it to like the hair serum, your hair. It's really good for supporting some side effects from alcohol. And I'm not sure if this is compliant, but if you want support from side effects from alcohol or drugs, that's compliant, yeah. It's good for that. As we said, fungal infections well, I didn't say that correctly, so forgive me. And then it's really supportive for hormones and enzyme secretion. And it's really great for blemishes too. So those are other ways we can use it. And then also it's great to add for surface cleansing. So, and it also recommends using it for post-surgery support. So if you have any ill feelings from post-surgery, then use it for that too. You could use it in like a massage oil for joints and things.
It seems like it seems like a lot of it has a lot of similarities to tea tree.
Yeah, and it's really good for like painful joints too, which I never knew. So the smell is strong, but I think if we found a way to, maybe mix it with some other oils and use it as a massage oil, it's a good one.
That's great. So we're going to move on to our other oil in just a minute. If anyone does have school-aged children and you want to make a lice blend, I recommend mixing things like arbor vitae, clove. You could do the citronella, tea tree, geranium, peppermint. You kind of want to play around with it till you make something that smells nice, because you don't want to send your kid to school with a really intense smell. But you would spray it in their hair every day. Right before you send them off to school, spray their backpacks and stuff. And along the lines with that smell aspect, if something's too strong, just remember that you can dilute it very much and it still works. You can have a pretty heavy dilution and still get the benefits.
I just want to say two was you didn't mention that are very specific with special ingredients for lice formulas are cedarwood and grapefruit. And those smell good. So you have those in a formula. Cedarwood can ground it and grapefruit can round it.
And lavender too.
Yeah, in the
really good too.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, Aisha, can we see the next slide? This is our 10% off oil. So every month you have a 10% off oil. And this month of April, it is TerraShield. And TerraShield is our repellent blend, but we do have other uses. Josie, do you have any secret notes about Terra Shield you want to share?
I actually don't. We kind of talked about it. I love, playing around and adding other new things to it. I like to add in the lemon eucalyptus and the citronella at this point.
Yes, perfect. So you just reminded me of something. My dogs, I'm going on 2 years now of not using over-the-counter flea and tick medication. And I do a mixture of Terra Shield, lemon eucalyptus, sometimes lavender, and I make a very diluted spray. I just recycle one of the On Guard hand sanitizer bottles. And about every 3 days, I spray them and their beds. And it's better flea and tick control than the over-the-counter stuff. Does anyone else on the community have tips about Terra Shield?
I just wanted to share that I put this little note because I think it's a really good fact to know that Terra Shield reflects the EPA guidelines and regulations and is tested greater than 90% and is good for 4 hours. So when I was first introduced to Doterra, I went to Haiti, and you don't want to mess around in Haiti when it comes to mosquitoes. And I actually took DEET with me because, of course, I was going to Haiti and I was new to the oils, but I actually never opened the DEET, and I used the Terra Shield only, and I returned my DEET to REI when I got back. So if you've not used this blend, or if you're nervous about it truly being effective, I just want to let you know that it is really that effective. So that's just more of a personal testimonial about Terra Shield. I have to be honest, it is not my favorite smell. And so I do like to add lemongrass to it, which is also, lemongrass is a really good bug repellent. So if you don't love the smell, you could add some other oils to alter it a little bit. Lemongrass, rosemary, lavender, like you can just dose it up. And we are getting the 15 mil, but I really love the spray. The spray makes it super easy and easy to use.
Thanks, Aisha. Ariana, you have your hand up.
Yeah, so I did a little research while I was sitting here too, and some other ideas that are pretty cool are if you mix it with sesame seed oil, it will help stay on the skin longer. So just a little FYI. And it's really great for our cellular health, and it's a high antioxidant. So it makes you feel really good. If you rub it on your pulse points, you can use it that way. But if we're already using it as insect repellent, opposed to Aisha's story about DEET, where we're poisoning our bodies, how cool that we're actually supporting our cellular health and keeping mosquitoes away. And then another thing is it's good for wood polish. So you can mix 4 drops with fractionated coconut oil and preserve and polish wood. So just a little more. I never have used it for wood polish, but I've got a woodworker partner and a lot of wood in this house, so I'm going to try it.
Florence, go ahead.
I have a really good Terra Shield spray testimony. I went to Hawaii about 3 or 4 years ago with my daughter and her family, an extended family, and we went up to Hana and up to this trail that was had lots of bamboo, and it's kind of moist, and so it was known to have a lot of those pesky little guys. And so I pulled out my Terra Shield and I sprayed myself, and I kept offering it to my family members, and they all had off going on their body. Anyway, got back from that trip that evening. All of them are itching like crazy, and I had 0, not one bite at all. And so it was a great testimony. And they kept complaining, the next day, oh, I got all these bites. And I said, well, I offered my Terra Shield to you. So it definitely is my best friend for when there's mosquitoes, those bugs around. So I just have to share. There's a really
Thank you, Florence.
Sound. Yeah.
That's great. We're getting more testimonies in the chat too of people who say it really works. Yes, Aisha.
I just want to share that if you do get bit, because if you don't have your Terra Shield on, and you get a little mosquito bite, that using layering lavender and peppermint is magic. You do have to wait a few minutes, and sometimes if the itch doesn't stop, I'll do a second layer, but usually within a few minutes it will completely knock out the itching. So the oils can work that way as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, last share on TerraShield. I'm going to mention this because nobody else has, but the spiritual or emotional aspect of TerraShield is it's a repellent against negative energy. So just like you put it on to repel bugs, you can use it if you're going into a situation where the energies of the people you're around are maybe negative or difficult for you. So an example of when I use TerraShield is, if you know me, you know that I hate Costco. Like if I go into Costco, I usually have an anxiety attack. So I canceled my Costco membership. I don't go there. But if I ever have to, like to get tires or something, I put on TerraShield and it helps me feel much better. Awesome. Does everybody love that we're doing this as our first call of the month? I know for a while our first call of the month was boring. So I hope that you're telling people it's so much more fun now. And we love that you bring your wisdom and we get all these tips. We're going to transition into the joy of sharing doTERRA now. And there's a really exciting promotion going on that you can use to inspire yourself, to share, to also ask friends and family to host classes. And it is the Gather and Give promotion. So the month of April, this month, the month of May, and the month of June, if you enroll 3 people with 100 PV, you will get free Yarrow Palm Body Renewal Serum. If you enroll 5 people, you're going to get the Yarrow Palm Body Serum and our Rose Glow Rose Essence Mist. So this is Bulgarian rose in a facial spray. You can't buy it anywhere. You can win one of these packages every month. So set your sights on enrolling 5 people a month, April, May, and June, with 100 PV. And invite your friends, customers, family members, neighbors, anyone you know to host a class. You come over and teach the class and they get the enrollments and they win this as well. So it's a great way just to get people sharing. And we have a special kit that doTERRA is rolling out. You can go to the next slide, Aisha, please, which they're testing. They're seeing if we like this. I just used it on an enrollment. I had and they have a specific health concern. Dr. Josie and Dr. Mika gave me some advice. We had the specific protocol that there is not a kit for. And so I used this with her. And it's basically where you spend 150 PV or more. And when you do that, you get your membership free and your shipping for free. And they're giving you $50 if you join the doTERRA Loyalty Rewards program for the next month. So use this because if you use it, they're going to keep it around. All right, you can close down the slideshow. We'll come back to that other slide afterwards. We have a special guest today. We have doTERRA Diamond, Diane Del Reyes, yay, coming to just chat with us about some inspiration she and I have been having and we've been chatting about since attending leadership. So take it away, Diane.
Hi, well, thank you for having me here. And first of all, I was thinking about something when Ariana was sharing and she's like, oh, I just did some research literally in 2 minutes to find out more about this oil. So what that made me think was that there are so many people who start doTERRA who think they have to know everything about everything in order to move forward in their business. The truth is you just need to have a really good resource. You need to be resourceful. That's it. That is the success to your business, is to be resourceful. So thank you so much. And there's the book, The Essential Life book. I love that. So thank you for that reminder. Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. It's just, I hope you just realize that you don't have to know all the things about all the things about all the things. You don't have to be a Dr. Mika, a Dr. Josie, a Dr. Rose. So anyway, I just wanted to share that first to start. So I have a question first. This is the business section. And I want to know, like, by a raise a hand or in the chat, who really wants to grow your business? Who wants to grow your business? Yeah, me too. Me too. And who wants really amazing, yes, me, awesome business partners in Doterra? Yay! Me too. When I say the word recruiting, what comes to mind? How do you feel about it? Like, I would love to hear just a couple of words either in the chat or out loud. Like, when I say the word sales comes to mind, right? It's like, I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to recruit. What other slimy? I love it. Yeah. So what does that word, I mean, that's what that word was meaning to me too. I was like, recruit. I was like, I feel like I'm, I think about the army, like they're recruiting soldiers into war. And that's not what we're doing at all. So I found this one, that's what we're going to talk about today a little bit. And I found this definition that I felt like I resonated with me and what we are really trying to create. And it's to engage in finding and attracting new members, builders, and leaders. I added that part. It said members and I added builders and leaders. But unfortunately, a lot of time, like everybody's saying, recruiting feels like the word sales. Right? And nobody wants to feel salesy and nobody wants to feel like they're pushing their agenda on it. So I was thinking about, like, what is the real elephant in the room here? Like, what is this idea about recruiting? And the thing is, the elephant in the room is that we're making it all about us, right? We're making it we're our meaning making machines, and we are making this idea of recruiting about us. What are people going to think about me? What are they going to say? How are they going to feel? Right? So are they going to think I'm, slimy? Are they going to think I'm salesy? Are they going to think I'm pushy? Are they going to think all these things? Same thing with sales, right? And so there are so many different ways. I think what this really does come down to is, and it's something that Erin actually posted about on Facebook today, is really about belief, right? At the end of the day, your belief is going to be the most important thing in your business. Your belief in yourself, your belief in your product, your belief in the company, your belief in network marketing, your belief in your builders, your belief in your prospects, your belief in the person that you want to partner with, right? You don't have to partner with everybody, you guys. I remember in the beginning, and let me tell you something, almost every single time, my legs that I did not have a strong belief or connection in fell apart, right? So some of that, I think it's really important also to understand is the objections, right? I think if we work on those beliefs and then we understand what our common objections to recruiting is, and we have ways that we can have conversations, and I'm going to give you a resource for that, then I think that's really important. So some of the common objections as we hear are time, money, MLM, and belief in the oils in the first place. So on the daily mentor calls, do I have the ability to share my screen? Hold on a
I
second.
can make it so you can.
Okay. Yeah, please.
Oh, you should. You're a co-host.
Oh, yay.
You're working?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was logged in here, but in the daily mentor calls, there is a section in here called Find a Builder. So I think it's really good to check out this little section, Find a Builder training. And underneath, there's a section on call number 7 about overcoming objections. And it goes through every single objection and the conversation that you can have with people. So I highly recommend actually going through all of these just to kind of gain some more knowledge about different ways of recruiting and how to overcome these objections, especially the time objection. Because one of the questions recently, I had one of my leaders say that I keep hearing things like they don't have the common objection is I don't have any money. And so I'm going to wait till I have more money in order to feel good about buying the monthly kits. And the first question I would say, so I would ask them is, so if you had the money, you would want to do the business, right? Is that what you're saying? Or if you had more time, is this something you still would want to do? And then you get to go into problem solving mode, right? So then you can say, let's have a conversation about how you can rather than that you can't. And I always think about, this just popped in my mind. I always think about our friend Aisha, who always said, don't make assumptions about people. Don't make assumptions like, oh, they're not going to like oils. This is going to stop you right away from even connecting with somebody. They're not going to be into oils. I know they're always complaining they're so busy. Oh, they're always complaining they have more money. Don't, like, even if they've said that, don't rob them of the opportunity of saying yes. You're making it about you. Don't rob anybody of the opportunity. So anyway, so I think this is really good scripting and ideas of what you can say. I mean, look, it's so simple. And this is like things for you to take away. I feel like we've been talking over time, and Erin and Josie and Aisha and I have been talking about this idea of scripting. Scripting to me is like a guideline. It's not a gospel, right? So it's a way of you going, oh, I can see how I can take this information and make it mine, right? So for instance, I also want to share oh wait, let me back up. With those objections when you're talking to somebody, and this is something I remember actually Gabe talking about in one of our events in Ashland, and it says it on that scripting. It says, first seek to understand. Again, don't make assumptions, be a good listener. This is what sales and recruiting is all about, is being a good listener, not making assumptions, asking the right questions, asking the how, right? And when you're developing your beliefs, then you take a different posture, you take a different stance. So the only way you're going to be able to develop these beliefs is by doing the things. I think it was Laura Jacobs said something similar, something interesting on the Monday Empowered Success call, which was something to the effect of like, the teams that are doing really well right now are doing the things. They're doing the things. They're staying in action. They're doing the things. And so this is what we need to do. We need to do the things. We have to step into a posture. We have to first align our belief system. And then we have different ways that we can recruit. Now, one of the things that we have been talking about is the prospecting with a purpose. This is the recruiting technique that Bailey King talked about during leadership. And I can share that screen too, but I will say back in September or October, whatever it was, I went to the Diamond Dash retreat and Bailey King was there. And she actually trained us in this prospecting technique. And she also challenged us. There was about 23 of us there. And she challenged us and said, within the next 30 minutes, I want you to try this technique and see what your results were. I mean, it's like you just went, got on my phone, did the technique, and literally within 30 minutes, I had 5 people say yes. 5 people said yes to taking the next step. That's all you want them to do. You just want to have people take the next step. Take the next step. We don't have to go from 0 to 100 in one conversation. And so they all took the next step and said yes. Of the 23 people, over 100 people in 30 minutes said yes. So if something is working for somebody, I think it's like success leaves clues. If you see somebody who's successful and you're like, oh, I kind of vibe with them, let's find out what they're doing. Let's find out what they're doing and do it and make it our own. It doesn't have to be exact. I did not, by any stretch of the imagination, do exactly what Bailey said, because I don't speak like Bailey. Right? So I don't say, hey, Jose, I'm in a super hurry. I can't talk real quick, but that's just not how I talk, right? And so let me share the screen if you guys want to see this scripting, because I think there's a lot of value.
Diane, can I just make a quick point while you're bringing that up?
Please do.
Sandra C., who's on the call, welcome, Sandra. She's a new member of the community. She just put a reflection in there that she is a professional saleswoman and she likes relationship sales, and that she enrolled with me because I never made her feel sold to. And I just wanted to reflect on that, because what's interesting is I've done hours and hours and hours of sales training. I've practiced scripts. I've recorded myself 14 years doing this. And I think the reason that people don't feel that I'm salesy is because I spent the time to study things like this. It doesn't mean I never do exactly the script like you're saying. I study the concept and then I make it fit into who I am, and then it comes off naturally so that I don't ever come off as being salesy. I just wanted to point that out. If you're resistant to oh, I don't like recruiting, or I don't like prospecting, or I don't like scripts, it's about studying. It's like studying your tools so that then you can go be an artist with it. I just wanted to share that real quick.
I'm so glad you shared that, because I think that it's so true. I think the more you learn about the concept of sales and, it's service, we're a service-based, heart-centered business. And you have to be able to put that, but you have to have a structure. Otherwise, we're not going to grow. We're not going to make the impact that we really want to make without having some way of doing that. And we all want to create relationships. Even if we're not high on the relationship strengths, we all want to create the right relationships. We want to have an alignment with the people that we work with. I mean, I think about the blessing that Josie has. She has all of her friends on her front line, all the people that she loves and cares about. And her frontline people, me and Louise and Mika and Tracy and Asha, we're steady eddies, man. We're still there. We're still it, but it's about the relationship, right? And when I haven't done that, I'm telling you, I've had so many legs fall apart. I didn't get to diamond by having this perfect structure. I've had legs fall apart, and but because I had a belief, and because I knew this business was something that is going to change people's lives on every level, I kept going. And then I just want to say one more thing, that when you're creating it, your belief, we talk about attracting these right people, right? You get to attract them when you're being them, right? So you get to be you get to put in the work to kind of find out what is the different sales or recruiting techniques that you want to create that align with who you are, right? But you want to be able to, and that's why you have so many, like in this system, you have so many different scripts. Like you have so many different scripts that you can relate to and take this, even if this wording is not exactly who you are, I think each one of us can glean something from it. You can take this and say, you've always been so supportive of me, and I appreciate that so much about you. Like, you know what I mean? Like that feels authentic to me. That feels, I trust and value you. I'm wondering if you would look at something. Like I wouldn't say, I don't have time to talk. Like that to me, it was like, I mean, otherwise I wouldn't call you if I didn't have time to talk. But I would say something. It was really important to reach out to you. I feel like you've come to my heart. You've been on my mind, and I just wanted to share this with you. Do you have a minute? I would say, do you have a minute? You know what I mean? Whatever the words are. So I want, without going into the details of this particular system, because I really think you guys should check this out and dive a little bit more deeply into this. But this system, this recruiting model works really well. And it's mostly, I think, for the most part, it's for the people who you've been planting seeds with, or customers who've been regular buyers. I feel like there's, and people that you have good relationships with it. This is not necessarily a cold call. You want to develop relationships with people, before you start connecting them, because you want to be able to know, like, you have a good relationship with them before they're on your team. So I think I love this scripting. I definitely would look into it, but I think, if you want to attract people, you get to be the person who does the work and shows up and models it. And so and you have the belief, because that's what's going to attract people. That's when things shifted for me, and when my business was revamped last year in 2021, beginning of 2021, middle of pandemic, is when my business blew up in a good way. and people started coming to me. It's because I was back in alignment with my belief. I was being the leader that I needed to be. I was, my way of being made the difference.
Yes.
So,
okay.
So I recommend, I love also in the Find a Builder is like, look at referrals too, but because that's actually, I asked for a referral because I trusted somebody, and they said yes to me. They said, you know what about me? Like that, some of the stuff you think, is that really going to work? But if you trust that, if you feel like that's the right person that might have, you think like, oh, I would love them. But if they're a no, they'll know somebody, right? Because like attracts like, right? So I went to somebody, Danielle, who's on my team, and I said, who do you know? And she's like, well, what I think I might be interested in this. So, I mean, so that does happen. So that does really happen. So dust off your names list, but most important, like look at your names list, but also think about the people who just keep coming up in your mind or in your heart. Like, I think when you're using that intuition to find your business partners, I think that's really powerful.
Yes. Okay. We're at the top of the hour. So I'm going to just transition us a little bit here, because Diane and I were chatting, and you know what this is in a nutshell is asking. It's asking people, I thought of you. You'd be great at this. Would you like to take a look at Doterra as an income opportunity? It's just asking. And sometimes we don't ask. Why? Because we don't know what to do if they say yes.
Yes.
Does anybody feel that way, right? Like, I posted in our group the other day, what would you do if you had 3 to 10 new builders in April? And I asked my my smaller team on our call, what would you do? And a lot of us are like, I don't know what I would do. So if you don't know what you would do, you're not going to ask because you don't want to actually hear yes. So
yeah, I had last year a common theme when I was rebuilding my business. my common theme was, how do I onboard a new builder? How do I onboard a new builder? Like that kept coming up over and over and over again.
So Diane Del Rey's a doTERRA diamond. Not only is she a doTERRA diamond, she's someone who hit diamond, lost diamond, and hit it again, which is huge. And then Eliza Yoshida, doTERRA Blue Diamond, doTERRA Founder 2.0, doTERRA Diamond Club winner. Diane is a Diamond Club winner as well. Those two ladies and myself are putting on a launch day workshop for you. What this is the answer to the question, what do I do when someone says yes? So you can go through this recruiting document from Bailey King. You can work with your upline, however you want to invite people to join your business. You do you and invite them however you want to, but just know that once they say yes, you can bring them to our launch day. We recommend that maybe you have a 3-way call before you bring them to the launch day. They should come to the launch day with the business builder guide and their launch guide with their order set up, like they're ready to go. They're a wellness advocate ready to go. We're going to spend 3 hours workshop style, meaning we're going to teach you the tools, practice the tools, practice all the stuff. We're going to have a lot of fun so that you can leave this workshop with your new leader. I'm going to try to not call them builders anymore. They talk to us about this at leadership. With your new leader, your visionary leader, and you're going to be ready to go launch their business. So you can get the registration on our website, hellovisionary.life, under events. You can use this bit.ly link, bit.ly/launch day workshop. And we're going to do this and see if people want it. And if you want it and you're bringing people to it, we'll make it a regular offering. So we can't wait to see you.
Yay! I'm so excited. I feel like this is the 4th wheel on our doTERRA business vehicle.
Yes, exactly. Yes, we have our intro class on Tuesday nights. We have our continuing education, which is now being offered 2 times, different zones, and we have our launch day workshop. So we are supplying all of us as visionary leaders with everything that we need to go and succeed. And the key ingredient now is that we must ask people to come and play with us and be a part of our community.
Yay.
Yay. Thank you, Diane. Thanks for sharing your wisdom. Thank you to everyone who shared their tips. And yeah, I'm stoked about this and I can't wait to see you all at the end of April.
Yeah, me too. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.